Hey home bakers, it's Jack here at bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. And this week I would be brave enough to say this is probably mistake number one. Roll that theme tune. Hello there and welcome back to the Bake with Jack YouTube channel, where I share a little bit of my bread making expertise in a little bite-sized video every single Thursday. If that's what you enjoy, if that's the sort of thing that floats your boat, consider pressing that subscribe button and let's get on with this video. This week is probably mistake number one. I would go as far as to say this is mistake number one. Listen, I talk to a lot of people about bread making. I say, how's your bread making? Are you making bread at home? And they say yes a couple of times, and sometimes it comes out really heavy. Really heavy, like a dense brick. It never rises. Sometimes it does rise, sometimes it doesn't rise. And the first thing that I ask these people, the first thing that crosses my mind when I'm told this is, do you dust the table with flour when you knead your dough to stop it from sticking? 9 times out of 10, they will say yes. They add in flour when they're kneading the dough to stop it from sticking to the table and their hands. This, my friends, is a big mistake. A big mistake, but however, don't beat yourself up if you're doing it, because you will do it. You rightly so will do it, because in the recipe book, it tells you to do it. Let me read out a couple of examples. Tip the dough out onto a lightly floured surface and knead for 6 minutes. Tip the dough onto a floured surface and knead for 3 minutes. Work the ingredients together carefully with well-floured hands, kneading continuously for 10 minutes. This is the first and probably biggest mistake you'll make to stitch up your bread making now and for the future, and let me explain to you why. When you are kneading dough, it starts off being sticky. You've weighed everything out nicely, you've mixed it all together, and it's sticky. It comes out onto the table and it's sticky, it sticks to your hand and it sticks to the surface, and that's just the way that it is. As you begin the kneading process, we're all waiting for a change to happen. We're waiting for a change to occur. The dough changes consistency. It comes together. It becomes smoother and bouncier and more elastic. We're all waiting for a change to happen. If you instinctively put down flour onto your dough to stop it from sticking, the dough will absorb that flour and then it will become sticky again. Then you'll pop a little bit more flour down and the dough will absorb the flour, becomes sticky, and that will repeat over and over again until a change occurs, until you've added enough flour into the dough for it to become a nice smooth round ball that no longer sticks to yourself. And then you'll think to yourself, you know what, I'm done. I've made it. I've kneaded it effectively, perfectly, and now it's a nice smooth round ball like off the TV, and I can stop and let it rest up to puff up triumphantly into that tall, proud loaf. However, the change has occurred, but it has not occurred because you've worked it enough. It's occurred because you've put more flour into the recipe. The recipe's all tightened up. It's much drier dough than what it was before, and it's still not yet kneaded properly, and therefore will not rise properly. You need to get sticky. You will get sticky and stay with that stickiness, because that is going to guarantee success of your bread. You may have noticed in the last few videos I've done, I have kneaded doughs. I didn't put any flour down and I used a dough scraper. And this is not just some big massive marketing ploy so that you buy one of these from my website. Seriously, this piece of plastic will really help you out. It will allow you to be able to knead without any flour. You use a piece of plastic like this to scrape around the table, bringing it all back together every once in a while during the kneading process without the need for flour. The single fact that your bread will be better because you haven't floured your dough when you kneaded it turns this humble piece of plastic into a miracle tool that I would literally never be without. I scrape the table, I cut the dough, I scrape my fingers with it, I scrape the windscreen outside with it. It's everything that I need because of that fact, not because I told you about it. If you are one of those people who can't cope with sticky fingers, Deny every instinct that tells you to toss flour all over the place. You'll tighten up your dough. It won't be kneaded enough. It may rise if you're lucky, and it may not. But that is the single thing that I ask people if they're having trouble with bread making. That's the first change to make. I hope this video has helped you out and didn't just look like a big massive scraper advert, because it's really important. You can literally buy scrapers from anywhere, but if you want to support my channel, my work on here, there's no adverts for you to watch before you watch my video, and that's because I don't make any money here. If you want to support me, spend £3 on a scraper and whatever the postage is to wherever you are in the world, and that would be really wonderful. But I hope this has helped you out. Deny the urge to dust everything all the time. We don't need to. Just get sticky for a bit, and once that 8-10 minutes of work is over, you can clean your hands and you won't be sticky again afterwards. Thank you very much for hanging out with me every single Thursday. Take care of yourself until next week, and I look forward to seeing you then for another bread making tip. Bye bye.